Rendezvous with Rama by Arthur C. Clarke. This book is a science fiction classic. It's about the expedition that's sent to a mysterious object that comes into the solar system, a massive cylinder that's rotating so fast that it creates its own gravity and appears to be completely uninhabited. So the book walks us through this crew's exploration of this mystery object, and we also go back to the other parts of the solar system where people of the government are trying to figure out what they should do about it. When the book came out in 1973, it was a big hit. It won the Hugo and Nebula Awards in 1974, and recently it's been taken up by the director of Dune to be made into its own movie. I would say that guy's name, but that is really hard to pronounce. Side note, I think that's a great directing choice because Dune was extremely visually stunning, and so was Arrival, and with this kind of book, you've got to pick someone who's really good at that. And that one director that I'm not going to name happens to be very good at it. But back to the book in question. In my opinion, this book is the perfect answer to the question, what is so great about science fiction? The answer, Rendezvous with Rama. The book explores so many ideas that you probably have never thought of before, and it forces you to think through these things that are technically possible, and just make you wonder, like, what if this actually happened? What if you were on a space crew that was exploring this mystery object that was floating into the solar system that could have been silent for the last million or billion years? Like, you have no idea, and you walk into this dark cylinder that's miles wide and you're shining around at your flashlight in just complete darkness, and you're thinking this is like exploring a pyramid of Egypt, except it's times, who knows how many more when we're years in isolation this has been here. So how would you process that? How would you think that through? This book is about the crew and their different personalities and how they react to these big unknown variables, and they have to try to explore and come to conclusions in the human scientific method that we've come to rely on. So it's great at the individual level, and it's also great at like a species level, because we have these organizations of governments, and in the story we're on different planets and moons and we're all over the place, but we're like coordinating in this United Nations sort of group what to do about this Rama object. There's something that rings true about that, because if there was a big mystery event today, there would be people of governments all over the world arguing with each other about what they should do. So you can appreciate the realism of how people react to the mysterious, both on the individual level and at a governmental level. Also, spoiler alert. While I was reading this book, I was trying to think of where this book would come down on answering all the questions that it's bringing up, because who are these Rama aliens? What's their purpose? Some science fiction novels really tell you everything, and some tell you very little. And there's a good technique in a lot of science fiction to tell you little, because it leaves you with this sense of wonder, this sense of mystery. That's part of the charm of science fiction to begin with. So I figured it would be on the lesser side, but in the end, this book went with the extremely lesser side. You get very little information about who the Ramans are and what their purpose is. But Clarke makes an interesting point about that, because you have the humans that are exploring this mystery cylinder world, and the aliens don't care about people at all. We're insignificant to them. So not only are we as people not smart enough to understand these big mysteries and understand what the Raman perspective is, they don't even notice that we're here. We're just so far beneath them. It's funny. We keep thinking we're so significant, but this book tells the human race, actually, you might not be compared to some of the more intelligent species that are in the universe. I don't know, it's at least a little humbling. It got me thinking about how in a lot of science fiction, you have the super intelligent aliens that bring themselves down to our level to talk to us in ways that we can understand. So they may be way above us, but they're also smart enough to know how to communicate, like the contact. I used to think that just makes sense, but after reading this book, I'm really starting to question that. After all, I'm more advanced than, say, like an ant that's crawling on the ground, but I have no idea how to communicate with an ant. I couldn't think of a single idea that I could express to that ant. So we're just not on the same level. So that's what I feel like he's doing here with Rendezvous with Rama. You have these extremely intelligent aliens that don't even bother trying to tell us anything. Anyway, I think that's the point of the story, and I think that's why it works so well. A lot of the criticism of the story is that there's no character development, and I absolutely don't care. The science fiction charm of the book is just through the roof. I love the idea of this cylinder that's so big that it's spinning and it's creating its own gravity. So you're on the surface and you're looking up and you're seeing, what's a few miles away if you just kept walking around. It's so cool to put yourself in that position and try and think about how that would work. For the movie purposes, I imagine you have to do a little more character development though, but we'll see what that one director does with it. I, for one, am excited to see it. That particular director said that Rendezvous with Rama was like a rival on steroids, and I think he's exactly right. So, let's see how that looks. I'm going to give this book 4.5 stars.